better late than never. I thought I would talk about Fear the Walking Dead's first 6 episodes of season 8, the final season. Somehow, somehow, the showrunners, Andrew Chambliss and Ian Goldberg, and Scott Gimple, he's not a showrunner, but, executive producer type, the whole team over at AMC working on this show has managed to make it even worse than ever before. Season 8 is probably the worst overall season of this show that I can think of. And I don't know how they did that, because season 7 was just so desperately awful. The whole nuclear Texas fight for the office building, Strand as like a tin pot dictator, Alicia going crazy following a zombie to Padre, which they clearly didn't have any idea what Padre would be when they wrote it. And then they changed some stuff. Very clearly, Padre was supposed to be something much closer to Texas, but it turns out it's way over on the Georgia coast, which makes no sense since the Padre people found them on the Gulf Coast of Texas, hundreds of miles away. Padre is a small community. As we see in this season, there's not very many people there. They don't have a national reach, right? And yet somehow this is their plan. They're going to kidnap children for some reason. They're going to get to these supplies that they have that are surrounded by zombies, and they're going to use these supplies to somehow take the country back or something. What? There's like 30 people there. Most of them are kids. They call each other bird names like Shrike and Nightingale. They're going to literally, if they get too many more people, they're going to run out of bird names to use. And they're going to have to be creative and start using other species. Like my Fear the Walking Dead Padre code name is Pterodactyl. See, that's not a bird, but it's close. The first 6 episodes are focused primarily on Morgan, who gets crazy again and starts doing the clear stuff and the I can't die. And in the final episode, he sees red, and literally when he sees red, the screen goes. There's a red filter applied to everything, and they use this gimmick as a way to not have to explain what's going on, like what happens off screen, because Morgan will black out or red out, and then he'll wake up somewhere else, and a bunch of stuff will have happened off screen that we don't even get to know. We don't. It's just they just skip over huge chunks of it, and that is some lazy ass writing. So in the finale, Dwight and Sherry's kid succumbs to the zombie bite sickness and dies. He's a 15-year-old actor playing a 7-year-old kid, and it shows. The girl that plays Mo, Morgan and Grace's adoptive daughter, is 13, but she's playing an 8-year-old, and it shows. These kids don't seem like 7 and 8-year-olds, and they're doing all this stuff that 7 and 8-year-olds would never do. Have you ever? I want to ask the showrunners: have you ever met a child before? I mean, I know they don't seem to know how to write normal conversations. So my guess is that they're like robots or aliens or something, because they don't know how human beings talk to each other, and they don't realize that a 7-year-old isn't gonna be able to sweep kick a fully grown woman and knock her out in one hit, especially after radiation and surgery days earlier. Grace dies, and that's good, because boy was I sick of her. And then Morgan in the very end. The one great thing about this episode, the finale, the mid-season finale, is that Morgan and Mo leave, and it's Morgan's last episode, so he's gone. Bye, never come back. I like Lenny James, but my God, Morgan he is up there with the worst characters in the entire Walking Dead franchise, and I used to like him. They just wrote him. They wrote him in so many corners. It's really sad. So it looks like the second half will be focused on Madison and Strand and all those guys. But do I have any hope that it will be any good? No. I think they will continue to ruin all the original characters right up to the very end, and it's going to just be a disaster. But I could be wrong. Dwight and Sherry break up in the end, but they're still in the second half of the season, so maybe they'll get back together again, break up again, get back together again. The whole time jump, also, just the time jump did not work at all. They jumped 7 years into the future, and you got to wonder, like, why? Why would they stay there? Why would Morgan and Dwight and Sherry and June and all of them stay working for this group Padre? Because Padre sucks. Like, they're not even good at anything, and they're not scary or intimidating at all. Like, as soon as they push back, that they just crumble. Also, if they're on the coast of Georgia, then that means Alexandria is just a few hours away. Well, maybe a little bit longer if you had to walk. But of course, since there's plenty of gasoline everywhere, they could just drive up there to Alexandria, where Morgan has friends who wouldn't make them separate from each other and their children. They're just like, sure, fine, we'll hang out with you. You guys raise our children for us to be like child soldiers, and we're just fine with this. How does that make any sense? It doesn't make even a shred of sense. Madison's been locked up this whole time, but she's okay. But she needs oxygen, except for when she doesn't need oxygen. And she has superpowers, like when she hits people with a hammer, they literally like fly. Like she hits them in the foot and they fly into the wall. She's very, very powerful. We don't see Strand. We don't see Luciana. We don't see Charlie. There's a secret scene at the end of the mid-season finale that shows someone who I think is going to be Troy Otto, but other people have speculated that maybe it's like the sister of the Ottos that we never saw in season 3, out for revenge or something. I think it's going to be Troy. I don't know. Okay. So I need to also make a video about The Walking Dead Dead City, so look for that one also. Just briefly, it's so much better than Fear, but I'm not sure that it has like that we need more Walking Dead right now. Like a spinoff just so soon after the Walking Dead series finale. Now we have a spinoff with 2 of the main characters from The Walking Dead. It's I don't know. There was a really good, and I'll talk about this in another video, but there was a really good Negan scene in the second episode. So that gives me hope. We'll see. Let me know what you thought of the first half of the final season of Fear the Walking Dead in the comments. And thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and thank you for bearing with me. Peace.